Naruto 598. Okay, I think a lot of people are holding off on doing their reviews on 598. I think they're waiting maybe for a better translation to make sure it's correct. From the translation that is available right now, it looks like Tobi is someone named Shikashi. I looked up on the internet. I can't find a character in Naruto that's Shikashi. There is a character in Zelda named Shikashi that is a let's see, a reoccurring character from the Legend of Zelda series, an old wise man. That was the number three choice when Shikashi's Googled. Number one is basically the usage of the word Japanese words domo and Shikashi. Evidently Shikashi is a formal way of saying but, like this but that. I guess it's a more formal way of using that word. That's where that's at right now. I'm going to go ahead and go to the actual manga. Alright, we start off, and Naruto, of course, is going right at Tobi. And Tobi's like, oh, that power again. And of course, that awesome ability that Naruto has, where he can basically use like energy, to create arms and to, which Killer Bee showed him how to do, to manipulate his chakra, or the chakra of the tailed beast, so that he can hold things, manipulate things, to do things like that. It's a pretty awesome ability. So he's going at him, and right here in the beginning, Guy is, of course, wanting to go right at Tobi and to support Naruto, and the Eight Tails attacking Tobi, and Kakashi's mind is just blown. And pretty much right there at page 3, which is a lot of people are looking at, and Kakashi's like, it can't be. No, that's not possible. Shikashi. So there's a Shikashi. That Tobi is Shikashi, and of course, who is, so is the next, I guess the next thing is, who is Shikashi? If that translation is correct. We could find out that that isn't correct, and then move on from there. Regardless, at the end, okay, and of course spoilers. If you haven't read the chapter, please go read it first, always. At the end, he doesn't. It looks like his. Well, anyway, I'll actually go in order this time. And then finally, Kakashi comes out of it, and they're going at Tobi, Kakashi. And, of course, Tobi's still pretty cocky and is basically like, hey, okay, so you know how my jiu-jitsu works. It doesn't really matter. All I have to do is, use it correctly, and you're not going to be able to beat me. That's basically it. And you get some awesome... The action in this thing is really intense. I have to say, the first one or two times I was looking at this chapter, I'm sitting there, of course, I'm all occupied with who is Tobi, who is Tobi. And once I got past that part and started actually looking at, this is an incredible action chapter. I mean, this is fantastic. I'll definitely look at this a few more times. You've got the Eight Tails and Kurama, the Nine Tails, just in full form, going at it. And I like the deal where Kurama grabs the, like a metal shuriken that's been thrown at him in his mouth and everything. It's pretty cool. And but also there's the powers of the tailed beast, but there's always counters. And Tobi has, well, anyway, like I said, I'll try to halfway go in order here. And Guy, there's a conversation between Guy and Kakashi, like I say, and finally, Guy's happy because the relationship between those two is pretty cool. I like how Kishimoto, they're friends, but they're really competitive, or at least Guy is. I think Kakashi could, everybody could see could pretty much do without it. So of course they go in there, and of course, as usual, okay, you can't underestimate Kakashi, and that's what happens. They do an attack Okay, they're all doing the attacks, and of course, Tobi Shikashi is used to avoiding them, and has done that in the entire series, except for the last chapter. And but now, and here we come. They've got these stakes, of course, out, which are used to control and immobilize. And they look pretty vicious. They have chains on them, chakra off of them, and they look pretty sick, really. And the Eight Tails is getting hit with them. Naruto stays in his human form, and he's going, and he's in multiple shadow clones. He's really, wow, the guy's powerful. I mean, just utterly amazing. And so he's using his abilities to go ahead, and they're, of course, attacking him. And then here's the critical point on this is Tobi thinks that Kakashi messed up. He thinks that he even states that you were too fast with that stake, Kakashi. And what happens is, okay, and they even go with the Beast Bomb. The Eight Tails, they go with the Beast Bomb, or it looks like Naruto goes with the Beast Bomb. And he's like a bit slow and too useless. Now, what it looks like happens is that, and this was either a clone or Naruto himself, is transported into that other dimension. And there was someone, I don't remember your name, okay, but there was someone in the comments that suggested this, and I think about 2 chapters ago. And whoever you are, put your and when I go ahead and give a shout out that you were correct on this, putting a clone over in the other dimension to nail Tobi, which looks like exactly what's happened. And I'll mention the next video I make when I find out who you are. I'll go ahead and mention your name. Good job. And that's the last page, is basically in this alternate universe dimension, Naruto smacks Tobi right in the face, okay, with a Rasengan, and you can see the mask just going into pieces, and Naruto shouting what fans have been shouting for years: "Who are you?" And that is the end of this chapter. So it absolutely positively looks like it's going to be next week. Kishimoto said it would be in August. There's one more chapter in August, the 29th. And it's all set up for it to be the 29th. So it looks like this is it. One more week unless it's early release. Wow. Years of wait. Finally over. This is going to be incredible. So, once again at the beginning, it's... if the translation is correct, well, and there's another thing too. Well, if the translation's correct, it looks like it's Shikashi, but the fact is, it looks like that's a guess from Kakashi, but he's a pretty smart guy, right? So even that's not verified, and of course we don't. And like I said, I've looked on there, unless a character from Zelda's come over, or so. That looks like where we're at, and it still could be someone else. That's why I'm saying we're still on cliffhangers. It probably is the Shikashi character that we don't know. And to be perfectly honest, I would be, as much as I thought it was Kagami, I didn't really, and I think everybody's seen that. I did not get anybody else's theories because I didn't know 100% sure either. But if it's a character that we don't know at all. And I think some other reviewers have said this would probably be the best solution, or at least I think would be the best solution. That would mean that nobody guessed it correctly, and everybody's basically on the same playing field. And then, of course, we're going to have probably, I don't know, several chapters of backstory to try to explain who this new character is, because I don't think one chapter is going to be enough to explain who a Shikashi is, if that indeed is who it is. So anyway, like I say, a lot of people are probably waiting to get a better translation, or doing their research to try to find out who it is. I'm going to go ahead and release this video. If I have to release more to update, then I will. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're subscribers of mine, people who listen, this is the blue snowball. I'm probably going to end up having to get a separate stand for it. But if this sounds better, and this is in number 3 mode, tell me. Give me some feedback on it. If you want to subscribe, you can always subscribe. You can always unsubscribe. You can do anything you want to. Until next time, take care.